Hi, Donna.
Hi.
Hi. And for the viewers out there, welcome to the latest edition of Leading Ladies TV, the channel which interviews ladies from around the globe who've done something to make life happen. Our guest today is my dear friend, Donna Kater. I'm so privileged to have you here, Donna. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Amanda. It's a pleasure.
And Donna, your story, the story that really inspired me when I was speaking to you, was regarding a complete life-changing decision that you made at 46 to change your career. And the thing that inspired me the most about that was I just think there's so many people who, you know, get to that point in life and go, oh, I can't change my career, it's too late, you know, I'll have to stick with what I'm doing. So you really inspired me, and I do hope that the listeners get inspired in the same way. So are you happy, Donna, to share that sort of tale, that story with us?
Yes, I'd love to share that story with you. Well, I was at a point in my life when I didn't have children at home anymore, and I had some spare time on my hands, and I just was kind of complacent about my job. I had a good job as a counselor, and a career counselor, actually. I was helping people find careers. So I thought, well, gosh, you know, what else can I do with my life? And I had some experience with acupuncture, and it really helped me a lot in healing an injury that I had. And I thought, hey, maybe I could do this, you know. So I was, 46 years old, and did some research. Of course, being a good career counselor, you look at what's the job market like. Is there going to be is there going to be money coming in if I train for this career? You know, is it going to be a viable thing? So I looked at all that, and I saw that, you know, more and more people are using alternative medicine to help with their ailments. And so I leaned into it a little bit, but once I made that decision, all kinds of things started happening. You know, I found the money to do it. I got my work. I told them what I wanted to do, and they helped me adjust my schedule. I thought I was going to have to work my school schedule around my work, but it was really just the opposite. Every year they'd say, okay, what is it that you want? Or every semester, what is it that you want your schedule to be? And I would tell them, and they'd say, okay, you know, you can do that. So then I went to school, and it was a lot of work, a lot of memorizing things, and a lot of tests I had to take, and I took a licensing, but it all stemmed from the fact that I just made that decision that I wanted to make something happen, something different happen, and not be kind of just like, okay, well, it is what it is, you know. I was like, well, what else can I do with my life? How else can I help people? And I knew I had other things in me besides what I was doing.
It's amazing. And it was 4 years, wasn't it, the course? So,
Yeah.
so you were 50 when you qualified?
Yeah, and that's another thing I thought. Well, I'm 46, I'll be 50 when I'm done. And I thought, well, I'm planning on working into my 60s, you know, 65, you know. I'd probably not even want to retire if I didn't have to, you know, if I loved what I was doing. So I thought, well, you know, I've been 15 years as a counselor. I'll do 4 years of study, and I'll have another good 15 years as an acupuncturist. So that was my thinking. I thought, I'm going to be 50 whether I go to school or not. So why not just go to school and finish with a degree, a license, do something completely different. And, you know, there I was at 50, graduated and got my license, and, you know, set up my own business, and, you know, the rest is history.
Yeah, I love that. I'm going to be 50 anyway. Why not be 50 and be an acupuncturist?
That's right.
And just going back to sort of, you know, people might think, well, how did that decision come to you? What makes you think about it? And I know you said you'd experienced a great experience through acupuncture, but going back one step from that, you mentioned about your kids had left, so there was this kind of empty nest. What do I do next? Was that a real strong feeling for you?
Yeah, it was. It was like, okay, now I've got all this time on my hands, and I've always really gravitated toward, learning, and I love learning new things, and I liked learning about, a whole different way of thinking about life and the world, kind of a more Asian perspective. And so I thought, let's just learn about this, And, another fun thing I heard, if you do a lot of studying in your 40s, it actually helps you when you get to be 80. It helps your mind. So,
right.
There was a study done with some nuns, and they found that the ones who did intense study in their 40s, they still kept their minds when they were in their 80s. So that I found that out somewhere along the line too. I thought, well, great, I'm doing intense study right now. That'll help me in my old age as well.
I'm going to take that on board. I'm going to start studying. I'd really like to have my mind. It might even be stronger at 80 than it is now. I wasn't much of a studier when I was younger, so I really enjoy learning and studying now. Because it's never too late, is it? It does almost feel more worth it when you do it as you're a little bit older.
Yeah, you come with a different perspective. And it didn't come easy to me, It was difficult because I had to study all these different Chinese herbs with different names and, what their functions were and how they went with other herbs. And it was a big volume of information. And then I had to retain it when I did my licensing, too. I had to have all that information at the forefront of my brain. And luckily I passed it on the first time.
Yeah. And then you had to set up a business.
Yes, yeah, so that was a whole nother thing.
Yeah. I can vouch for that. You can have a great idea for doing something good, but actually running a business is a different thing again, isn't it?
Yeah, a whole different set of skills. So I ended up buying a business that was already, it was already going. So a lot of the things were already there. And luckily I had some money to do that and bought the business. And then, that was a whole nother thing. And so there was a short course I took in being a business owner as well that talked about how to set up the financial part and making sure you got enough income coming in, and business plan and all those things that go along with having a small business. So that was a whole other set of skills that I didn't really think about when I decided to become an acupuncturist, so I'd have to learn all that kind of stuff, but I thought that was fun as well. And then pretty soon, patients coming in and people were getting better, and it became very exciting. I hired more people. I had other acupuncturists, I had other massage therapists, different modalities of healing. And it's quite rewarding, actually. So
definitely. Had you run a business before?
No, never. No. I always had a job working for somebody else, so that, but I just took it as a challenge. It was fun, and, I joined a networking group, and they sent me a lot of referrals, and it just became kind of, I don't know, just fun.
Yeah. Did it, there's a phrase, isn't it? I just felt more alive. Did you feel more alive? I mean, it will have been stressful, but sometimes that's the bit, the adrenaline keeps you going.
Right, yeah. And then when I was in school, I met a lot of people that were, half my age, a lot of people in their 20s, and I became friends with them because we were on the same path. They're still my friends to this day, so, and that helped me feel younger too, to associate with younger people.
Yes, of course. And that's a really wonderful thing about learning new skills, is the new sort of social group that you meet, the really good friends that are going through the same thing as you. That's one of the things I've enjoyed most about all of the training I've been doing since I've been coaching. Because you meet people that are in your world at that time.
Yes, right, yeah.
And they become lifelong friends.
Yeah, and it's kind of like you're meeting your tribe. You go in and here's other people interested in healing as well, and so you have a lot in common with those people.
I just think it's just such an amazing story. I'm really, really delighted that you're sharing it with us. And what advice, because there are lots of women out there that would like to do something different but can't always just take the plunge, or they worry about things. What would be your advice for them?
Well, there's a something that was very inspiring to me that has to do with kind of taking charge, taking the bull by the horns, and it has to do with once you make the decision, then other things come in to help you with that decision. So, for example, when I finally decided to become an acupuncturist, I didn't quite know where the money was going to come from, but I went to their financial aid office and they said, well, you could, here's a student loan you could get, here's a fellowship you can get. And I went to my work and I said, I'm going to go back to school. And they adjusted my schedule around my school schedule. And other people just came in to support me, in a way that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't actually made the decision. So the first thing is make the decision, and then take some steps, and then see what happens. See who's going to come in and help you, with path. And then the quote I wanted to say is by I think it's W.H. Murray, and he climbed the Himalayas, or the Himalayas, however you say it. And his statement, which really resonated with me, was boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. And whatever you can do, or whatever you dream you can do, begin it, and begin it now.
Oh my goodness, I want to get out and get cracking.
Yeah, I know.
What a fabulous quote. I shall actually write that below this interview so people can read it. One thing I just picked up on there as well is you made the decision, but then you went and told people. And saying things out loud really makes a big difference as well, doesn't it? It's kind of like, I've said it. And as soon as you say something to one person, somehow or other, they go, oh, go here, go there. And the path isn't difficult because it actually unfolds because you've shared. So that's the inviting others in as part of the lipstick principles that I really rattle on and on about. So, Donna, thanks so much for sharing that real inspiring story. I do hope that if that touches one listener out there to go out and do something and make that decision, then we've met our target. But I dare say it'll really inspire more than one. So thanks so much. And thanks for being a part of Leading Ladies TV, the channel that's here to help make women and help women make life happen. So
thanks so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
I'll see you soon.
Okay, take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.